Hey, this is Coach Perry, and we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're going to meet somebody today who is a very interesting person. Hey, this is Coach Perry, and we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're going to meet somebody today who is a very interesting person. His name is Nick Martell. He's with Martell Homes. We've got to be very good friends with Nick, and I know a lot about his family. He's family to me, and I want to share with you his story and why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish. So, Nick, welcome, and why don't you tell everybody about how we met and kind of how we got together and who you are. Tell us about your background.
Well, thank you, Perry. Well, I've been in construction pretty much my whole life. I was a Marine coming out the Marine Corps. After that, I'm looking for a job. Construction was the obvious choice for me. And I've just been in and out the business, doing all kinds of different jobs within the business, whether I'm doing survey, carpenter, sheetrock paint. I've done literally all of it until eventually I became a project manager and then eventually a project engineer building homes. Doing
And I understand today you do a lot of remodeling, don't you? And so you walk into jobs and you have no idea what to expect. You have to be quick on your feet when you do that. So tell them about that.
Well, renovations we're actually really good at. A lot of people tend to not think about the problem because when they acknowledge the problem, they can come back on the homeowner later.
Sure.
But we don't do that. We cover the problem up front to the best of our ability. And normally that means the client doesn't have an extra expense later on, which is good for us. Kind of like a turnkey product, which you would expect out of a building.
And I get the sense that you really care about your customers. You want to know how they're going to live in the home or how the home's going to live with their family. And I see that when you talk about your customers, you have a passion and a conviction really to help them.
We do. We actually we talk to the client on how they're going to use the house. So if they have something that's special to their family, we might have a way to incorporate that into our project. One might be maybe they have an elderly parent in the home. So we might take extra precautions through the process to make sure that they're not affected in any way when we do our work.
And that's great because especially with the year we just came out of 2020 with all the changes, everyone confined to the household and so forth. So much of it now is homeschooling. And you mentioned the elderly parent that moves back in with them and so forth. Yeah. How has that impacted your business? How has it changed the way you look at what you're doing?
Well, it changes a lot. So here in Louisiana, we've obviously had a lot of government stipulations, so we've really had to ramp up how we're addressing it. So some clients aren't so particular, but we have to keep everything the same across the board. And we've done a really good job. We got some great subs. We've nailed it.
When you mentioned subs, it's good that you said that because most builders take all the credit for all the work and they say that, they're the driving force behind it. But in reality, isn't it the sub base, the subcontractor base? Because you're only as good as the subcontractors that are truly doing the hands-on work.
Absolutely. If we don't treat them well, then, they'll find someone else to do it for.
I know we had a photo shoot earlier today of one of the communities we're breaking ground on. We had a first groundbreaking ceremony, Chateau de Chêne. It's right across from Walker High School. And you had your painter there, David, if I remember his name. Tell about David because he was so proud to be there and be a part of this groundbreaking ceremony. He's one of your top subcontractors.
Yeah, he's a great guy, really good personality, easy to talk to, easy to work with. Even when we have special issues on a job, he's willing to go back and look at things and make everything right. He's exceptional. I wanted him to be there so he could be a part of the process.
Absolutely.
And it's nice.
And you think about it, it's critical. Paint. How critical is paint? You look around us in this office and any little imperfection, that's what you're going to see. We all know that it's a woman's world and we're glad to be a part of it. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And they've got an eye for that detail. And so he's very critical to your success. And I commend you for getting him involved in that groundbreaking ceremony. That was fantastic.
Quality is very important. So as you said, women tend to be the driving force. Yes. A lot of what we do. Yes. So the painter is exceptional. If they're not caulking their lines correctly, well, guess what? The woman's going to notice.
We're going to hear about it. Now talk about, because there's a lot of moving parts to getting a home building business going. And my organization has been very instrumental in helping you from the time I met you.
That's right.
We've been able to provide with some capital, with resources. We've got some people involved. We're getting you involved in this process today. So talk about how that's been and what we've been able to accomplish so far, and maybe what your long-term goals are.
Well, it's been exceptional. So that we use the land banking process. I love the land banking process. It lets me know where I am future-wise, right? Also, too, we've been in communication with a lot of different investors for a multitude of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a lot more opportunity going this route than what we had originally.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of options that you brought into the organization is amazing.
And that's good that you mentioned options because, again, it's your choice. It's your decision. You hear me say this all the time. We can do whatever you want to do, but it is a very difficult industry to be in. And Jason Williams, who we talked with on another video, he's been very instrumental. He's bringing in investors from Austin, from Colorado, from New York, and they're very interested in Baton Rouge. And so our goal is to be able to put enough capital with you, provide the resources, help you with a sales team. I know your wife, Kristen, is a realtor. We opened up a brokerage firm here. It's the Adam Olson team we brought in from the Houston area. Great marketing individuals, great with social media. They're very instrumental with what we're doing. Of course, the Bailey Jordan collection is helping us do these videos and so forth. That's all part of the network that will help you be successful. And are you able to benefit from that and see the benefit of that?
So as far as growth, it's instrumental because an average builder, small builder, there's obviously the big box builders, and they don't care about their clients, as opposed to the smaller builder who wants to put the extra touch on it, right? So for us, we're able to do kind of both because of the team we put together. Absolutely. So to be able to still be able to tend to the needs of the client is very important to us, but also being able to scale is very important to us. I would foresee us being able to handle 100 homes a year at some point here soon, which isn't something we would have been able to do, say, last year.
Without the network itself.
That's right.
And you mentioned being the builder and caring about the client. It's funny because clients, I've done this for many years, and clients always want to meet the builder. They always want to know Martell Homes. Okay, who's Nick Martell? They're getting a chance to meet you finally. That's and right. You're going to be able to meet them in the field. You're going to be able to shake their hand and talk to them, thank them for their business. The large big box builders you talk about, the national builders, I mean, I've worked for some of them. There's no way you're going to meet the person behind that driving force because there's too many of them. This way they can meet you and they'll be able to see who you are and they'll be able to see inside your heart who you are and what your passion is. That's important.
Also, too, the culture of the company. We'll have a lot more control of the culture in the company. So even if you don't get to see the owner all the time, which wouldn't be realistic, at least the culture of the owner is going to stretch through the company. And so that's very important to us is the culture of the business. We want to stay true to that culture.
Absolutely. And your passion will be shown in that because it'll be instilled and inspired in the people that you're working with. Now, you talked about a goal. You talked about maybe doing 100 homes a year. Where are you today? Where are we at in our process? And where do you want to be in the future?
Well, we'll probably do 20 this year. Next year, I'd love to see us move up to about 50. The year after that, we might be closer to 100. But that's really our 3-year projection. We really don't know what the real number is going to be, but we're going to keep on growing, and we're looking for strong people to join our team. And as long as we can continue to grow, we're going to.
And you mentioned the land bank process earlier, because that's really what determines your growth. The land bank process is where we have outside investors come in, buy the lots on your behalf. They hold them for you. They cannot sell them to anybody but you. And that's important because, as we talked about in other videos with Jason, for example, for you to know what your future is going to hold and for you to control your future, you've got to control your land process. You have to control where am I going to build next. And that's very important. And for a small builder, that's huge. And hopefully now we've got the idea, we've got the concept in place. We've got the investors in place. We did a groundbreaking ceremony in the first community this morning. And now we're moving to the second and third community. So we'll have you there very soon. And hopefully that should be able to clear your vision up on where you want to be and what you want to build.
It does. And I appreciate everything.
In addition to that, people that may see this, it doesn't matter how much money they have because we've got investors involved that brought in 10,000, 20,000. We've got people bringing in several 100,000. We've got meetings tomorrow and today with people with larger amounts of money. But that's okay because anybody that has $20,000 or $30,000, they can buy an individual lot. We'll give them a good return on their investment. They'll be proud of what they contributed to, and they can say, I was there in the beginning of Martell Homes.
That's right.
So imagine if you could say that about Microsoft or some of those companies. And that's really what Jason Williams is best at saying, is you're getting in at the ground level of something that's going to be something large. And we know that with your passion and your drive, we will be there. There's no doubt in our minds.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what do you see 5 years from now? Where would you like to be at that point? And how can we help you get further down that road?
5 years from now, just playing a bigger role in the community than what I do today. And I believe that's really the driving factor is people, right? Because when we build a home, it's not necessarily just for us. Right, there's profit incentive attached to it, but nothing's more impactful than taking a family of 5, right, 2 adults, 3 kids, putting them in the home that they've been dreaming of, and being able to raise their kids in that environment, the home that they built, that they designed, right? So not everyone gets that opportunity, but because of our team, we are able to open that door for more and more people, and that's incredible.
And one thing I have to commend you on, I've seen it, I hear it all the time. Your team is like David, the painter that showed up this morning. You take a lot of pride in seeing him develop his business and him getting the advertising for his business, what he needs. Because as he grows his team, takes care of his family, you've contributed to that. And that all comes back around so the whole team wins. I really commend you for that. It's fantastic to see that and feel that every day. Right. So as we continue along this path, as we grow, we're going to be doing more videos of the growth of the company. We'll show people the progress. I know you're a big social media guy and you're big on software and having portals and things of that nature. I hear you use that terminology all the time. You want people to be able to dial in and see the progress on the houses. So we'll be documenting that. The investors that are listening can become a part of that team. They'll be able to dial into your software and be able to see it. We're going to help you track that. We're going to help you document that. It's going to be fun seeing you grow because you deserve it, and we're going to make it happen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing all the things you do.
It's good.
Thank you, Coach.
It's for the right person. It's for the right people. I appreciate that. Hey, this is Coach Perry, and we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're going to meet somebody today who is a very interesting person.